Grab your notebooks and focus up, folks. Today, we are putting on our elite tutor hats for this explainer. We're bypassing all the fluff and jumping straight into the high-yield cultural traps of the Canadian education and healthcare systems. Look, if you're gearing up for the celpip exam, you already know that simply translating words just isn't going to cut it. You literally have to understand the cultural systems behind them. So today, we're unpacking the exact keywords, the hidden test traps, and the scoring strategies you absolutely need to master these tricky scenarios. Let's do this. Okay, let's dive into our whiteboard agenda. We're looking at a highly structured, zero-fluff mind map today. We've got education core keywords, education traps and strategies, healthcare cultural context, healthcare scenarios and traps, and we'll cap it all off with the ultimate scoring strategy. Starting with Section 1, Education System Core Keywords. We're going to explore the unique, culturally specific hierarchy of Canadian schools. First up on our mind map is French immersion. Now, please do not mistake this for a simple language elective or some fancy private school perk. The major testing point here is that French immersion is a robust bilingual program offered specifically within the public school system. We're talking about core subjects like math or science actually being taught in French. For those mapping this to native concepts, bridge this English term directly to its Chinese equivalent, shuangyu jiaoshui. It's a fundamental bilingual education track, and believe me, it pops up constantly in reading and listening scenarios where parents are choosing schools.
Now, what's really interesting here is this massive point loss trap. We need to break down the critical difference between a school board and a trustee. They are not the same thing. The school board is the official administrative body. They're the entity managing the big budgets and handling school zoning, literally deciding which neighborhoods go to which schools. On the flip side, we have the trustee, specifically a school trustee. This is an elected community representative, an actual human being who makes policy decisions. Mixing up the administrative body with the elected official is a classic trap in reading comprehension questions. Don't fall for it.
To really see this in action, imagine you hear this exact phrase in a test scenario. School trustees will hold an open meeting to address classroom size concerns. Notice how it's the trustees holding the meeting to face the community. They're the ones answering directly to the parents about hot-button issues like overcrowded classrooms. Keep this insider tip in your back pocket for those listening sections. Trap alert. Okay, next is a term that catches so many test takers completely off guard because it is entirely specific to the province of Quebec. CEGEP, pronounced CEGEP. It's a highly unique educational stage that bridges the gap between high school and university or vocational college. If you get a listening passage set in Montreal or Quebec City, you've got to be ready for this term. Don't let the unique pronunciation throw you off. Just know that if a student is graduating high school in Quebec, they are heading to CEGEP for 2 years before hitting university. Moving on to Section 2, Education Traps and Strategies. Let's shift gears from defining words to mapping out exactly how they're used to trick you in situational exam questions. This is all about understanding the chronological timeline. You've got the report card versus the parent-teacher conference. Picture this. First, a student brings home the report card. That's the actual physical, or maybe digital, document detailing their academic and behavioral performance. And what does that trigger? It prompts the parents to book a parent-teacher conference, right? A scheduled one-on-one meeting to discuss that specific report. The trap here is all in the scheduling. In listening sections, you need to be laser-focused on parents booking highly specific, usually 15-minute time slots for these conferences.
So the crucial takeaway is this. Your education strategy toolkit relies on anticipating these specific administrative actions. When you hear school board, you should instantly be listening for budget votes or zoning. When you hear French immersion, listen for enrollment choices. And when the topic shifts to report cards, well, prep your ears to catch those specific time slot bookings for teacher meetings. Keep this toolkit active, and you just won't fall for those distractors.
Section 3, Healthcare Cultural Context. Let's pivot smoothly over to the medical side, which is notoriously tricky for newcomers to navigate on tests. Look, everything in this system starts with the health card. This is your provincial public health insurance card, and it's the absolute baseline requirement for receiving medical care in any test scenario. You might actually hear it referred to by a specific provincial acronym, like OHIP in Ontario, MSP in British Columbia, or RAMQ in Quebec. Bottom line, if a character in a scenario is going to a hospital or clinic, they absolutely must present this valid health card first, no exceptions. But here is where we expose a massive cultural trap. You have got to clearly distinguish between health card coverage and prescription coverage, which is sometimes called a drug benefit.
In Canada, your basic provincial health card covers your visit to the doctor and your time in the hospital. But, and this is a huge but, they do not cover the cost of the prescription drugs a doctor tells you to take at home. For that, individuals have to rely on employer extended health plans or specific government programs. So, if an exam question asks about paying for medication at a pharmacy, do not select the provincial health card as the answer. You'll lose points.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how this is framed in workplace reading passages. Listen to this sentence. Check whether your employer's extended health plan provides full prescription coverage. This is a massive keyword combination for you. Whenever you see extended health plan, your brain needs to instantly translate that to prescription coverage. All right, Section 4, Healthcare Scenarios and Traps. With the systemic concepts out of the way, let's look at the actual patient journey and the traps hiding within scheduling medical care. Let's map out a quick patient journey by comparing a walk-in clinic with a referral. Imagine you wake up with a terrible rash. If you don't have a dedicated family doctor or you just can't get an appointment, you'd go to a walk-in clinic for a non-emergency. The key here, you don't need an appointment. You literally just wait in line. But here's the catch. You can't just call up a dermatologist and book a time. No way. You absolutely must get a referral first. That's a piece of required documentation from a family doctor or a walk-in clinic doctor. Check out this auditory example. The doctor gave me a referral to see a dermatologist for my skin condition. In a listening test, if the question asks what the patient must do next, the answer revolves entirely around this referral step. The primary care doctor is essentially acting as the ultimate gatekeeper to specialized medicine. Time for a rapid-fire summary of your healthcare strategy toolkit. Remember, mastering these specific rules prevents silly mistakes in reading comprehension and listening tasks. Number 1, never assume walk-in clinics need appointments. It's a wait-in-line basis. Number 2, always verify if medication is covered by employer extended plans, not the basic provincial cards. And number 3, remember that seeing any specialist mandates a referral first. Lock these rules in, guys. Finally, Section 5, our ultimate scoring strategy. Let's transition to the climax of this explainer and bring both the education and healthcare domains together into one overarching philosophy. Let's see how this builds into our absolute golden rule. Master the culture, ace the test. You see, high scores on the celpip exam, they don't just come from possessing a massive English vocabulary or perfectly translating sentences in your head. Actually, high scores come from deeply understanding Canadian daily life, community habits, and administrative structures. When you inherently know how a school board operates or exactly why a patient needs a referral, the answers to those complex situational questions become incredibly obvious. It's like a giant puzzle, and you finally have the picture on the box. So I'm going to leave you with this challenge. Are you still just translating words, or are you ready to actually think like a true Canadian? Review these core terms we've unpacked today, but don't just memorize their definitions. Visualize the real-life scenarios they belong in. Apply this cultural lens to your entire study plan. Look out for those hidden traps, and you will absolutely crush your exam. Keep studying smart, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.